All right, so we're gonna go, I'm gonna go ahead and swear Commissioner, well, I can't call Commissioner Beck, Commissioner, you'll be Commissioner again here in a second. They don't have a quorum, so I'm just gonna go ahead and swear you in, and that way you can get seated and be official, and they can call a meeting to order.
Does that mean that item number 2, I can't speak as a private citizen?
You won't be able to.
Yeah, I'd say that'd be correct.
You don't
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Well,
You can let the commission.
I can.
It's just item number 2.
I was going to speak on item number 2 as a private citizen and address the despicable and underhanded, cowardly manner in which a function of this board was carried out. But I said I wouldn't, so I'm not.
Please swear him in.
I'm not sure.
You ought to know where the secret pockets are in there.
All right, sir, if you will raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Jerry Beck,
I, Jerry Beck,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office of
the duties of the office of
Emergency Services District Number 4,
Emergency Services District Number 4,
Board of Commissioner
Board of Commissioners
of the State of Texas,
State of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United
and of
States
this state.
and this state.
I furthermore solemnly swear
I furthermore solemnly swear
that I have not directly
that I have not directly
or indirectly paid,
nor indirectly paid,
offered,
offered,
or promised to pay,
or promised to pay,
contributed,
contributed,
nor promised to contribute
nor promised to contribute
any money or thing of value,
any money or thing of value,
or promised any public office
or promised any public office
or employment
or employment
as a reward for the giving
as a reward for the giving
or withholding
or withholding
of a vote
of a vote
at the election in which I was elected.
at the election in which I was elected.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
Why don't you go side? I did. You're here. And then I will leave this with you.
So we'll sit up here.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate that.
I'm not gonna sit with my back to the people, so I'm gonna sit over here, if Tony don't mind.
Not at all.
I have a problem sitting with my back to a crowd because they'll tell me who's got a gun.
Here, that packet is for you.
That one's for me, okay, thank you.
Call the meeting order.
Okay, so I call the meeting to order. We'll stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Establish quorum.
Oh, we've established a quorum. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, item number 3.
Any last item? I did.
I just did.
For citizen comment? I know, but is there any last item? Anybody else sign up? I am an observer.
All right. Heather Yanta.
Okay. I'm gonna go through a few things and I know I have to be quick, so I'm not gonna be too detailed. If anybody wants details, I have emails, I have screenshots, I have other stuff, but I wanna get through it. On September 10th, Commissioner Morales, who isn't here, decided to find me on Facebook and start commenting under my post where I was talking about Trump. And he asserted that since I was a Trump supporter, that he was going to reconsider his vote that he had just voted in the September 3rd meeting because reasons, he went through it. So I told him I didn't think he needed to make this issue into a partisan issue, but he chose to do that. So because I'm a Trump supporter now, he said he was gonna reconsider his position. I think that's baloney. But anyway, so just so y'all are aware that he did get on there, he did say that. People were asking me if I was okay because he went on and on my page, and I was like, look, I've been called much worse on my Facebook page by people in leadership who don't like to be asked questions. So I was fine. And he apologized the following day, and that's good. But I just wanted y'all to know he did say that. He also asserted that as soon as this empty position was filled, he wanted to quit. So he said that many, many times also. Then go back to the August 27th meeting where we were all discussing asking questions, and we were told we could ask questions after the meeting. They went into private meeting, everything was over. I was standing there with Steve Smith and Christy, I can't remember her position,
I'm the district coordinator.
coordinator, okay, district coordinator. So Christy came up to us and asked us, said, I've been sent out here to answer your questions, and she asked Steve what his question was. He said, I wanted to know what was the impetus that started you guys needing to create your own EMS service. And she said, sure. She said, we've had she said 18 months ago, we had personnel issues with Allegiance. We tried to resolve them. We couldn't get Allegiance to resolve them. So we decided at that time we were going to start our own EMS service. He said, great. I understand contracts. He said, you have a contract with Allegiance? And she said, yes. He goes, so you went through all the avenues in that contract for, to try to resolve this issue? She said, yes, we did all of that. And he said, okay, great. I understand that. And I said, well, I would like documentation. I said, because y'all haven't been the most transparent group, I would like documentation. Can I ask for that? And she said, absolutely. You can ask for it, and we will show you the documentation on it. So I said, in my Freedom of Information request, whatever it's called, sent that in, waited however long it took them to get me the answer, and the response I got was from the lawyer, Mr. Campbell, who I thought would be here today. His response was, try to read it. Okay, I can send it to you. Anyway, basically he said, the board has told me they have no documentation to respond to your request. And I gave them a wide window in case she wasn't like right on 18 months ago. I gave them a wide window. So they came back and there's no documentation saying that this personnel issues with Allegiance that couldn't get fixed. So that was one of the other issues. So basically, we were being told personnel issues with Allegiance, that's why they needed to do this. We have found out over the past couple of months that one of the employees here was sharing false information on Facebook when he asserted that local citizens would not be paying for EMS services. That was corrected in one of these meetings. An ESD employee is here is responsible for financial reports on the website, which citizens have found discrepancies in, not to mention the website still hasn't updated the approved budget. Natalia was here and asserted that they have not been given updates as promised. ESD employees saying other things. I know I'm probably running out of time. So basically, I want to sum up that from what we've seen and what's been given to us, I do believe ESD4 has a personnel problem, but I do not believe it's with Allegiance. All we have seen are the ESD4 board members and employees who have been giving us misinformation in the runaround. And that's my opinion.
That's the budget that's online.
Peggy Howard.
Yeah, I guess I don't have really much to say now since George isn't here. I was going to challenge him on this is a man I've considered a friend for decades. His very personal public attack as an ESD board member on a private citizen's Facebook page. And there was much more to it than what she described. It was a very vicious attack. It was uncalled for. It was unprofessional. And I don't feel he belongs on a public board. He doesn't belong here. Not when he treats public citizens the way he did in that Facebook post. That's it.
Linda Gunn.
Well, I wasn't really gonna say anything when I signed up, but I do want to thank all of y'all. I know it's not easy being on the commission. I want to thank Jerry Beck for deciding to serve again. He served in many aspects, so I appreciate his service, and I hope that y'all need to be more transparent, because I agree with what Heather said. There's a lot of, there's not transparency. We don't know what's going on, and that's why we're all here.
Dana?
Diana, so I'm the only Diana here. Okay. I just wondered, because you guys are not running an ambulance service and you bought all those supplies, like to the tune of probably what, $14,000? What are you going to do with them? And have we given any thought to that? Did you stock ambulances? What exactly are you doing with those products? Because they expire. And so I'm wondering if you have all these products and we have the emergency relief program, maybe you guys would donate them. I know that Sheriff Brown has got a committee going where he's picking up supplies to take. I wonder if they are available for that. Well, right, you don't have to answer our question, I'm sorry. The other thing is job descriptions. Since we don't actually have an ambulance service, could we get a job description for everybody who's still on the payroll? Yes. And I would imagine you still have a protocol that you're using, but you're not running ambulances, is that correct?
Nope.
Oh, you don't? Okay, well, that's just something else that I'm curious about.
Ken's not here today, but.
That's all I have.
KK?
I guess a lot of my questions have been answered. I mean, my questions have been announced, it was the right word. Was the ambulances, the equipment, the drugs, what has been done with them or plans to be done with them. That's definitely a lot of money. The tagging station, is it still a go? Is it in this budget at all? Or is it in future budgets? What's the progress of that? And the budgets on the website are backwards. The proposed budget and the approved budget are actually backwards. The approved says 2.8 million. I've got a copy of it here. And then the proposed says the 1.4, which was the one y'all had on the screen there that day. So they're definitely backwards. So she was right about that. And that's about it. Go ahead, one more. The command vehicle, who is that for and when will it be used?
Mr. Borson.
I know, but they can, they can if they want to.
Awesome. Did all of you guys get a copy? Awesome. Well, here we are another month. The total count for September was 184 calls. After I went in and made the corrections and the computer errors on timesheets, it looked like our overall response time within the district was 7.5 minutes. We had a total call of 57 within the city limits of Devine and 127 outside those city limits. We received 13 mutual aid requests that I could count. Again, if one came in that I didn't hear on the radio, then that they may have slipped in, but that's the ones that I could report about. On the last page, get over there, we made one call into Atascosa County, and that took us an 11-minute response time, which I thought was pretty good considering it was out on that road that goes towards Poteet or wherever that is. And within the city, sir? 624. Yeah. The city of Devine, the 57 calls was an average of 5.7 minutes response time.
City of Natalia, we did 18 calls and 5.3 minutes response time. The rest were in Medina County, which with just the county calls was 8.1 minutes. When you factor in the rest of the cities, then it drops that total on average to that 7 point whatever. But, and then again, I broke it down into postal districts, and it kind of changes those numbers. The Devine Postal District's 131 with an average response time of 6.5 minutes. The Natalia District was 46 calls with 6.6 minutes response time. I put Atascosa County because even though up at the top of that it says Atascosa 1, that's actually in the county of Atascosa, whereas the postal district, those folks that live in Medina County, but they're in the Atascosa Lytle Postal District. So that's what those are. And that was 7 calls in that area with an average response time of 9.5 minutes. So again, our total of 184 calls with an average response time of about 7.5 minutes. We had a few that were delayed responses. When I looked them up on the CAD, it looks like the crew just got lost. One of those north versus east, and when you get to that road intersection, it doesn't tell you which side is which. So they went one way and then obviously turned around and went back the other. But other than that, everything else looked pretty good. Our Q&A reports this month didn't show anything that was significant, and no concerns came back from them addressing anything in ESD4.
So I realize these unit names here, I guess the 64s are the contract ambulances. What's 4430? That's what I was going to ask.
I'm sorry?
What is 4430?
4430 is the unit number for the ones coming out of Moore.
Okay.
That's our Frio County response group.
Okay. They mutual aid.
Sir?
Yes. Mutual aid?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So the total number of calls doesn't count no transports. This is just transports.
This is total calls, period.
So I don't see any no transports on here.
I don't report it that way.
Oh, that's
If
what I'm
you'd like
asking
that.
you.
Yeah,
So
there was.
this report doesn't have
I
any
think
no
the total,
transports
the total
or
transport
signed
for the month
refusals.
was 131.
Okay.
So there was 50 something either refusals and cancellations.
So your total number of calls per month is higher than
transports. Yes.
No, it's more
No,
than
184 is the total call. We only transported 131.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Because we track every call.
Right.
So if it's a walk-up, if it's a cancellation, whatever it is, if it comes through 911.
Right. I guess I just don't see them on
we call
the
that a call.
cancellations.
Yeah.
Or the no transports.
Right. Now, if you look on this report, if you look under at scene times, where there isn't any, that would
That's no
indicate we got
transport.
canceled before we got there,
Okay.
or the patient refused to go.
So how do you calculate the response times?
I just used the total once I divided out by zone.
So Natalia, Devine,
Yeah, so if we go,
Lytle.
I'm still going to count that as a response time.
Right.
So if we go and they refuse, it's still a response time.
Okay, so every single call, no matter if it's a transport or no transport, gets calculated into the response time.
That's correct.
Yes, it's good. I had them backwards. So she is correct, but it is online. So this is backwards.
Any more questions? Thank you, Mr. Borstein.
You're welcome. You, sir.
Okay, so, number 6, consent items. Has anybody looked at the minutes?
It was here, but I don't have them.
I sent them to you via email. That's okay. I'll send them for you.
When it comes to email, I'm a hell of a tree trimmer.
Well, I have your iPad for
Okay.
you, so, but yes, I'll print it for you.
I am computer illiterate. on purpose. And, because sometimes the computer at the house doesn't work, and I'll be danged if I'm reading that on a telephone.
Print it, copy.
Yeah, I was gonna say it too. This will be your tablet. This will be your tablet.
Why?
Everybody has a tablet to review the, because we don't print.
Okay,
I'll show you later.
okay.
Your email's already set up. I'll show you all your email password and everything else for your password for Medina County.
Okay. Can I get off this board?
No, you have to stay.
You asked for it.
I'll show you
Okay.
once we get done. Because I'll have to give you your password for your email and everything.
Well.
I'm not really sure, but it shows like it.
Is that a printer? Yes, sir.
I don't know, I got that shit. Come on, I got it. Get the pig in.
That's something, the way he does it, so you don't, that's all him. That's this all up here is contaminated. So mine is after. Is that you're doing?
Okay.
Okay.
So this is actual Chinese.
This is the tax rate that we approved at the last meeting.
Okay. Okay, and then the zeros hadn't been approved.
The zeros is because we have no debt.
Oh,
And if you're not like this, yeah.
Alright. Make the correction on this one.
So you need a motion to accept these?
With the correction that we made.
What correction?
I spelled George's name wrong.
Oh. Oh, you put a Z instead of an S?
No, I put the E and the O backwards.
Mm.
huge.
Is he a Z?
Yes, he's a Z.
Okay, I make a motion with the corrections to approve the minutes as written. Even with the Chinese. It looks like you typed over something, look.
I'm probably sure I didn't.
Don't like that one.
No?
So it's just my tablet? That's wicked. That is. Oh, I get really lucky my tablet. It's been hacked. I've been hacked. Yeah, well, I made it small and then made it big again and it went away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just sent you the service report. I would have picked it up after much time.
And I second her.
Technically, it needs to be Mr. Beck.
What was the proposed rate on August 20th? I didn't write it.
On August 20th, stand on this. Let me pull up the minutes. On August 20th? Do you mean the 24th, sir?
21st, somewhere in there.
I'm just, because we have, there's the first. The first was originally the 7 cents that we were going for. Then the next one was, the zero was 496. And then it was approved at the September meeting.
0496 was?
0.0496, yes.
Approved, it was in September.
Yeah, the September meeting. Which are the minutes that you're reviewing. Unless you printed the wrong one. No, she didn't.
So we're looking at proposing a 785.
That was initial. So
No, look at the date that he printed.
Oh,
They printed the
yeah.
wrong one.
Yeah, I see the
That's
date.
that
there.
initial,
Yeah.
the initial meeting.
Well, this was the minutes he just gave me.
Yeah.
He has the wrong minutes, Jason.
Is that wrong?
Yes.
That's it.
Then you have to resend those.
I'll hold on those.
I'm not sure where you got this from. Sure. Wait, she had the same issue while ago.
Sorry to be dragging everybody's feet, but different formats in the counties and a different format in the cities and a different, it's just, it get while you used to. Thank you.
You could look at these, it's pretty easy, this one's right now. Later, you get seconds, but
I can't, I'm in past chair every time I move.
Well, no, I'm just saying, be careful when you back up.
That's what I'm saying, I can't.
I want the minutes from that.
Oh, the minutes.
The minutes from that last meeting.
Okay. If this looks correct, I'll second the motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, have a motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Okay, so, financial report. You get one?
Can you open that? Yes, ma'am.
I had to download it though.
Right, get back where you go.
It wouldn't just open, I had to download it.
Okay.
Oh.
No, I'm getting that off.
Is it the same report that's online?
The treasurer's report is not online currently because Juan was supposed to be here to help as far as to make sure it was correct because he wants the financial statements different. But with him not being here, I need to get with him on thing to make sure
Because what's online is not correct.
there is no financials for this month.
September,
No, ma'am, we're in October's treasurer's report.
so September's never got corrected.
September's was corrected. He asked for certain financial reports to come to this meeting, and he's not here to tell, as far as to prove the ones that he wants from this day forward.
Okay,
So I can't give you
September's-
anything that he's requesting. He's
Understand.
requesting reports separately, and that's what I was gonna present tonight, but with him not being here, I don't wanna give out reports if they're still incorrect, because that seems to be the issue.
Yeah, because September's, when you add up your expenses on the side, you're off by $639.75. And then when you look at these calculations, you have the bottom down here, the medical supply, the boundary, the McPherson, and the payroll. Where's that money coming from? Because if you add the
Yes, ma'am.
240,000 minus your expenses here, it does add up to the 206,000. But where's this 5,900 coming from? In the bottom, what account's that?
It should come out of our operating account, which,
That's not.
I understand, ma'am. And if the last meeting, he asked for different financials report, which is in our minutes, and those were the financial reports that I was going to present tonight to see if that's what he wanted to move forward with putting on our thing. So there is no mistakes. It comes directly out of QuickBooks. But he's not here tonight to tell me whether it's a yes or no on the financial reports. So I don't want to put something else on the website that aren't correct.
Yeah, that was wrong.
So. So I'm hoping in November that the financial reports will come directly out of the QuickBooks they want.
Yeah, okay.
Can I get a motion on the treasurer's report?
How can you when it's not correct?
Yeah. That's it.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I'm not, where did you get the treasurer's report? The
On
one
the
that-
website.
It's not on our website, ma'am.
This one here from
Yes, ma'am.
2022?
Yes, ma'am, it's not on our website. So I'm just curious if you're looking at the one that was from the month before, because I pulled it
I
off.
don't have
because-
October's, I have September's. And you have October's, yeah. So when you look at y'all's financial statement off y'all's website, financial reports, treasurer's reports, 2023,
24, we're in 24, so on that one right there, it shouldn't be anything on it because it was taken off because of the mistake that was made last week. And per my treasurer, he asked to be fixed and have something quickly from QuickBooks, which is what I was supposed to present tonight, which is all the board of directors got.
This is live right now. It's
Okay.
still on there.
Okay, that's why I'm asking them, I'm
Yep.
just making sure.
It's still on there, it's not off there.
So, but the reports that you were sent are the reports that he was asking for. And they're directly from QuickBooks.
Is any of it correct?
No, I don't know, because you don't know the balance, the bank statements.
There, right?
Yeah, no, so that's
Huh?
not correct. That is not correct.
Right.
So.
Okay, so consent item number C, discuss and approve LLP public safety consultant for the property.
That quote is $950. It's to install the radio in the Expedition. The radio is $3,000. Yeah, that's the radio. It's the antenna. It's a 1-year warranty on the work. It's the same guy that did the install on the ambulances.
No, I was trying to figure out public safety.
Sorry? The Expedition.
So this would be installed into the unit, not a handheld.
Correct. This is a mobile radio for the expedition.
What are you using now?
A handheld. They work sometimes.
So you need a handheld and installed.
Well, originally the handheld was going to go on the unit to one of the crew members, but one of the handhelds needed some extra parts, so I just ordered them on Amazon at home, and I fixed that radio. So now I have an extra handheld that I use.
But didn't we just order and upgrade all of our handhelds?
There's 5.
For Legions, right?
So there's 5 handhelds total. Each crew member gets one, and then I have the spare.
Okay, and that's the new ones that we just got. And y'all have them too.
Yes.
Whatever's upstairs. The two that we had, that Legion's because they changed this digital thing. Christy said the guy said they couldn't be upgraded.
Oh, the 2 older ones?
So we have 5 total that are owned by the ESD, and I gave one. There's one for each crew member on duty. So each ambulance should have 2
And the
handhelds.
chargers are in the ambulance?
No, the chargers are upstairs.
What if they're gone all day?
Then they can take
Any
No, I mean, what if they're gone all day and they can't charge them upstairs?
mandates or code of conduct, anything like that?
There will be a vehicle policy to next month. Yes, sir. There are ways to get, I'm in the process of creating more, so that way you guys are the original, make the changes.
Okay.
And then we'll send it to the attorneys
So if all we have is handhelds in the Legion's trucks, what are you guys working off of?
our handhelds.
Yeah,
So what if your crew is gone all day, running calls all day? How do they charge them?
One of the trucks has a mobile radio in it, because I saw it this morning. The other truck, I don't know if it has a mobile radio.
I think that's when they burned up. We're waiting on the insurance money.
Okay, so basically you're working with just the handheld.
Yes.
So we're still into the, what if you're gone all day?
Yeah.
And you can't charge your radio?
They would have, yeah.
They also carry a push to talk.
Okay, so they have
With
backup.
our company.
They have backup.
Yes.
Can I get a motion?
And it's the next one is going to be policy.
There's another quote in your packet for the radio itself, which is the same quote that was presented in August, but it was tabled twice. And that radio is for $3,000. That is the same exact make and model radio that we put in the 2 ambulances. And it is compatible, so if the county does switch to a newer system, it also is compatible with the radio system in Bear County, Atascosa, Frio, and any other.
So it can go to digital
It's digital,
already?
and it is a VHF 7800 system also.
It's always a problem.
Right, so it's basically 3 radios in one. And that's why it's $3,000, not $1,200. It's because we can actually talk to Bear County on it if we need to.
And this one's secured in the truck?
It would be mounted in the vehicle, yes, ma'am. It gives you true interoperable capability as
So
opposed
this
to
one will
just
be
the
able to talk
VHF.
to Allegiance's handhelds?
Yes. Or their trucks, or any other truck in surrounding counties.
Will it talk to fire?
Yes, as long as it's programmed, which it would be. The biggest issue that they have with radio comms in our region right now is Bexar County. It's on a completely separate network. So most agencies don't have, you either have this radio system or that radio system. These particular radios, like the ones in the ambulances, allow you to talk to whichever. You just gotta have the right channel to go to.
And that's just a programming thing.
For Bexar County?
Yes. So if we ever had to mutual aid Bexar County or Bexar County had to mutual aid us for any reason, it's a matter of go to a common channel and we can now talk.
What's the go-to strat to do that?
You can, or you can go through Bexar County Fire Alarm. On the common channel is usually where they patch most outside agencies.
So Medcom doesn't do that.
No, Medcom can. They have capabilities to. But most of the time Medcom communicates on VMed 28 or VMed 29, which these should be able to reach on a clear day. Because VMed 28 and VMed 29 are VHF channels, so they're kind of line of sight.
Right.
But instead of, a handheld radio gives you a mile radius, give or take. So you have to hit a repeater tower. The mobile radios give you a far greater radius. And right now, one of the big issues that I'm hearing from dispatch is that they can't hear Devine for some reason. It's supposedly always been an issue. And it's not just us, it's Devine Fire as well. Sometimes they hear us really well, sometimes they don't hear us at all. So I don't know if that's a topography issue, or if it's a repeater issue, or is it just a radio issue, right? Our signal's just not strong enough to reach.
Do they have a repeater now, actual repeater on the blue water cups?
I don't know the system well enough because I wasn't here, so.
I haven't kept up, to be honest with you. I mean,
They used to have a repeater that
right.
was
And
this area is tones.
I think that's still in existence. But you'd have to ask the county emergency management coordinator. Is he the one that does that?
I would be the guy that would the one that put it all up.
So
There's one on Italian, one on the water tower in Italian.
So that's what I keep hearing is that for some reason in Devine, whether it's fire, EMS, whoever, that sometimes they hear really well in dispatch and sometimes they don't hear at all. Is it a topography issue or is it a radio issue?
That is an ongoing issue.
Okay.
I'm not aware of that.
Okay.
I know the issue we just had where we fixed something with this and it came up in the last 3 weeks. We worked on something in the Hondo Dennis area where they were having some issues. And if this is something very recent, then I'm not going to say that couldn't have been related.
Okay.
Because it's a simulcast system, works across the entire county on 5 different sites. So it is possible, but this would have been over like the last 3-week period.
Okay. Maybe.
But I'm not aware of like any ongoing issue. I mean, it's, you should be able to talk most anywhere that you need to talk, especially on mobile.
Great.
I used to go listen to this stuff when I'd be in Rockport. So.
That's boring.
And that's one more reason to go the mobile route in the trucks is because you get a better reception and transmission out of a mobile than you do a handheld. Think of it as trying to use a cell phone versus trying to use an old box telephone with copper wiring.
So you need what, Tony?
I need a motion in a second on both of those items.
So how soon can it get installed?
If you approve the radio invoice, I'll send him an email and he'll probably ship it tomorrow. So it'll be here in about a week.
And the installation?
The installation will take a day, maybe, if that, a couple hours. Which he did the 2 ambulances on a weekend, so.
Okay. So I make a motion to approve the mobile unit for response vehicles with the installation and the shipping and the antenna.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Since there's only 2 of us making motions and seconds, what if I don't It fails. Well, I'll second your motion, but what happens if something comes up and she doesn't agree, or I don't agree, or you don't agree? And we table it. Okay. Well, second the motion, radio vote.
Okay, so item number 7, we gotta postpone that, or table that until next meeting.
Well, you got one more quote to go over.
Oh, what do you think?
So those two quotes are connected. Because one's installation, one's actual radio itself.
But you have,
There's a third quote for Alamo
you have
truck.
D, Tony.
Yeah. 60.
Yeah, but we did C and E.
Oh, okay.
But we need D.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
D lights for the,
D is for the installation, and that quote is for Colby and Alamo truck next door. And that's $1,500 for labor to install.
So you already have the parts?
So we have to order those, but I have 3 other quotes. For us to buy the lights direct is 20.
So what happens if we get the parts and he can't do it, and we've already approved this?
Well, I've already talked to him, he said he could do it, because he said that's what they do. They do it for all of Medina County, Frio County, Devine PD. I asked if he was familiar, and he said yes. So total with the lights, it comes out, the lights were what, Christy, $2,000? And then the installation is $1,500. The next cheapest quote I got was out of San Antonio, and it was $5,400. I have another quote for a provider.
We don't have the quotes for the lights.
I have one. $2,200 for lights, and then $1,500 for
Is this the online one, or is this the San Antonio?
That's the online one.
On the agenda 2 months ago.
It was on the agenda, but it got tabled. So total light install, you're looking at $3,700. I have 3 other quotes that I did not print out because I think they're outrageously priced. One quote was $12,000, so I laughed and filed that very quickly. The next quote was from Southwest Public Safety, and that was $8,400. I again laughed at it.
Okay, so why is it such a big difference? Are you not ordering the same?
It's the business, the cost of labor, and the quality of lights.
That's what I'm asking. It's not the same across the quotes. Okay.
No.
I do like the idea of spending tax money locally.
So
however much it is.
I would agree.
Same thing with buying sheriff's vehicles. Nobody wants to listen to me. Hey, 12 years, I got nowhere with that. Anyway.
So the cheapest quote out of San Antonio was $5,400 through Syntex. And I got a quote from Syntex, Southwest Public Safety, and Far West. They were outrageous. If we bought the lights through Speed Tech online, their office is in Buda, so even if I have to go pick them up, I can. And then the guy next door said he'd put them on.
I could have picked them up on my phone.
So
Cody's a very responsible man. He does good work, and I've heard no complaints whatsoever about his shop.
I would agree. We have a great neighbor, so.
I just didn't want there to be an issue once we got them that he had issues installing them.
And the funny thing is, yesterday I walked over there to talk to Colby, and they had a work truck in there that they were putting lights on, and I was like, huh, how ironic.
It's your turn. I've done them all. No, we're on
E. No, D.
D as in dog, Delta. Yeah, that's this quote.
That's the 1,500.
Yes, that's for Colby.
Alamo, yeah, Alamo truck accessories.
I move we pay Alamo Truck Accessories $1,500 to do the installation of the lights.
I guess I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
I don't have to.
I know. I just want to make sure he can put in what we ordered.
Would that be 2425 or?
Yes, sir.
Item 7.
No, we have to amend
Oh,
23, 24,
okay.
but we'll have to table it completely on the treasurer here.
Okay. We need anything to see.
You're using executive session. Okay, my smart mouse.
Executive session.
Nope. Nope. I don't like executive sessions.
Fired, Jason.
But I'll say it.
You're fired.
Okay, so the next regular meeting is going to be November 13th.
And I guess, can I start the round the room comment? Sure. When are we going to delve into the possible vehicle policy?
I could probably have it done for you completed if you give me until next Wednesday.
Okay.
And then I can send it to you guys, you can review it, change it, and then we can bring it to the board, and then we'll send it to the lawyer for the final approval.
I don't like lawyers either.
Who does?
But guys, I can get it started to you first, Wednesday next week.
Anybody else?
Round the room comments, is that what you're saying? You know, I did forget to ask about one thing, and that was the Zoll equipment that you were going to lease. Were you able to cancel that, or did you just go ahead and stop the ambulances and
I'll talk to her after. I'll talk to her after the meeting.
Don't have to say it right in front of them. You give them permission to.
You want to answer that?
So I have talked to Zoll. We are not able to cancel our agreement. However, I was able to renegotiate the terms of that agreement for the same price. Instead of it being a lease, it'll be a 5-year to purchase with 0 interest. So at the end of the 5 years and our payments have been made, we will own the equipment as opposed to leasing it for a 10-year term where we would actually be paying a whole lot more money.
What happened to that warranty that they were going to give you where they were going to upgrade the equipment?
So everything is still under warranty as opposed to their lease. We don't get the replacement for the ventilators or the auto pulse devices, but Zoll has no intentions to come out with a new one because we have the newest ones already.
Which one?
The EMV Plus and the Auto Pulse NXT, which just came out earlier this year. Now the cardiac monitors are a different story. The cardiac monitors we kept in that lease because their leading competitor, LifePak, just came out with the 35. The Zoll X series that we have has been on the market for a couple of years already. So we anticipate Zoll to come out with a competitor to their competitor's most leading monitor within the next 3 to 5 years, which would then give us that free upgrade, right? By changing the terms of that agreement from paying a monthly or an annual payment for 10 years down to 5 years, that saves our district and the taxpayers of this district $150,000 over the next 10 years.
And those monitors will be sitting for the year, they're going to sit a year out.
So one monitor.
Are we running ambulances, I guess is what I'm asking, did we?
Can I answer that? So I, again, negotiated after the last meeting that they voted to extend with Allegiance. I've worked with Allegiance, and Allegiance is going to operate our ambulances. So what does that mean? The ESD is a tax-paying entity. Since we collect tax dollars, we have to have assets that come back into the district, right? Like, our money can't just come and go. we have to be able to show the taxpayers, what are we doing with your money? That allows us to buy newer equipment to serve the taxpayers of this district. By Allegiance operating our trucks, it's still their license, it's still their medical provider, it's still their staff. We just own the truck.
What about our equipment?
So the equipment is going to be the same. All of the equipment that we've already purchased, we put on our trucks. We own the equipment. We're just going to allow Allegiance to use that equipment as long as it stays in our district to serve our citizens.
So we don't have any extra supplies or anything like that, they're just gonna go ahead and use it, is that correct?
Correct. The medical supplies that was initially purchased to stock the ambulances for our inspection is on the ambulances. And we do have some in the supply room, but that supplies is going to be used on the calls within our district. Our ambulances are not going to go out of the district unless they're transporting somebody. Our ambulances are not going to be running hospital calls out of another city or town or county like Allegiance does in other markets. Those two ambulances are dedicated to our taxpayers here, period. There is going to be, we have some legalities that we have to do. They're going to help maintain our trucks. They are under warranty for a while, but it's a standard maintenance lease agreement, which we have forwarded over to our attorney. They do this in other markets. And we have to put on the side of our truck in 2-inch lettering, operated by Allegiance Mobile Health, which those decals have been ordered. So it's just waiting for them to come in so we can put them on the trucks. So you are going to see our trucks on the road, and you are going to see them responding to calls, but they are still going to be Allegiance employees under Allegiance protocols and Allegiance medical direction.
So how many ambulances are we gonna have out on the road?
2.
Just 2 still?
To come up with $1 million.
Allegiance said in the last meeting that in order for them to staff a 3rd truck full-time, it would be $1 million.
We don't have enough calls to even.
That's why.
Right?
Right, so.
Call line. If we had 300 calls a month, 3 ambulances.
We do have that many calls.
It'd be the same rate.
Yeah.
And where's your role in it?
So Allegiance said in my meeting with their district manager, their VP, and their COO, their goal is to leave me here locally and have the crews report to me directly. And then if I have any issues regarding HR, payroll, or discipline, then I have to send that to their leadership, and Pat will work with their leadership on how to address some of those issues.
Do we get any credit back from Allegiance for buying ambulances?
We didn't get an increase. We did not get an increase.
In the contract.
Right.
Who's insuring the vehicles and the personnel and patients on those vehicles?
Allegiance. The district has...
Auto insurance is under the ESD because the vehicles belong to the ESD.
Yes, any asset that belongs to the ESD has to be under our insurance. In addition to, they are also being insured by Allegiance's vehicle fleet policy. So the trucks are going to have 2 insurances on them.
Personnel, the
It's all
patients.
covered by Allegiance.
Allegiance.
Just correct.
So you're employed by us.
Yes. Now I do have an FRO, which is a first responder organization that operates under Allegiance's medical direction and protocols.
I guess what I'm asking, if there's an accident on one of the vehicles, who's liable? Allegiance, under their insurance? Or ESD?
Both.
Both. Or, so we could be sued by somebody if an Allegiance driver wrecks one of the ambulances.
Normally their policy would start.
Allegiance would take that. Our insurance is going to pick up whatever their insurance doesn't cover. Correct. And that's pretty standard in most jurisdictions that do this type of agreement.
Just trying to get a feel for the overall financial impact.
Can they be used for mutual aid, since you said they have to send it?
Yes. They can be requested for mutual aid, but I'm saying they're not going to go to Frio to pick up a patient to take to San Antonio. They're not gonna go to Hondo or
Only
Medina.
if you enjoy it.
Right,
Just clarify.
right.
Any other questions?
Not a transfer.
Italian building.
We're still in the works on that. We gotta get an architectural firm. We sent out for RFQs twice, and we've gotten 2 replies. We gotta get an architectural firm first, because they gotta check the soil and all that stuff before we can even break ground.
So is this in this year's budget then, somewhere?
We don't even know the budget for it.
So you don't have architectural plans yet?
No, ma'am. So because the ESD, because the amount that it will cost, ESD is required to have 3 quotes. And because we can't find that 3rd quote, we haven't done anything. And so it's not on this year's budget because we don't know how much it's going to actually
It's not
cost
a
without.
quote, it's an RFQ. There's-
So it doesn't have to be a 2-story with an elevator building?
No, ma'am. No, it does not. And that probably won't be.
And
It'll be
because
one level.
it's so small, nobody wants to mess with it.
Yeah. But that's the reason why it wasn't on part of the budget.
Hard times.
That's it. They want a good job. It's $34 million.
Metal building works just fine.
Do I? Yeah, I'm sure. There was a firm that approached us at conference, and all they do is manage the site. They make sure the architects are doing their job, they make sure the contractors are doing their jobs and all of that. They're working for the Italian Independent School District right now.
Check for grants.
Do you have a place where we can look for grants?
Yeah, there's a place you can go look. I don't have it with me, but I mean, there's a book you can go through and find a bunch of them.
Yeah.
There's a guy sitting next to me who can probably give it to you quicker.
Which side?
Not Bill.
Bill's shaking his head.
Which side? Now, some of the grants that you're talking about, are they matching grants? Like,
Some of them are.
okay.
I haven't found any grants for buildings.
I haven't seen them either.
Okay.
I don't know, I'm not saying there's not, but I haven't seen any for buildings.
You should have seen them, so there might not be.
I mean, maybe a hazard mitigation grant,
There's a lot of communication.
Judge, maybe a hazard mitigation grant, but then that building would have to double as like a community shelter.
And there's already community already built.
Right.
Yeah.
The lot size wasn't big enough.
Oh, that's political.
Any more questions? Okay, so we're adjourned. Thank y'all.
I haven't seen any building grants.